Welcome back, everybody, to the Fruit of Grisaia, where last time stuff happened.
That is correct. Last stuff time did happen. Wait,
Yep.
everything about that was wrong. Let's try that again.
Nope, sounded right to me.
It was about as right as Michiru's dog chimera statue.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. You see it ties in now. Well, I think a lot of it was just building up to what may or may not happen in this episode, which is why the text box is opaque.
I hope. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yes. You are correct.
The part of me that enjoys the ride hopes for it. The part of me that edits the videos is like, no!
Yeah, good luck.
I'll let Amane read this line again, if this button does what I think it does.
夏のこの時期、日の出は早く、外はすでに明るくなっている。
It did!
ユージは毎朝5時には目を覚ます。正確には4時45分には半覚醒状態に入り、15分かけて
You gotta
ゆ
word it
っく
like
りと
that?
目を覚ますパターンが多いと言っていた。現在時刻は午前4時30分。さすがにこの時間ならまだ眠っているはず。
That's what you think.
おはようございます。
Akagi, what are you doing here?
意図的に潜めた声は
Wait, wouldn't it be
ユー
like...
ジが目覚めていた時のためのフェイルセーフだ。
I thought you did do kaka.
もしここで迂闊にも起こしてしまえば、
No, I did.
私の計画のすべては水泡に帰すこととなるだろう。
You see, the microphone cut
Slightly
off.
different.
I only caught the last caw. That's why I thought that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
We're just completely derailing what Amane is trying to talk about. Sorry.
I mean, Akagi is in every game because I made the joke already that she was in the Quarry because there's that Raven.
Oh, yeah. That's so Raven.
我ながらバカバカしいことを思いついたものだと探索しつつも、私は静かにベッドに近づく。よく寝ているね。いい子だよ。なるほど。こうして死んだように眠る寝顔にはいささかの既視感がある。変なところまで似ているのだなと思えば笑い出しそうになるけれど、ここはぐっと我慢する。
What's there?
I don't know. Foreshadowing, maybe?
Yeah.
さてと、それじゃちょっと失礼してお邪魔します。ベッドの上、いかにも体温が低そうに眠るユージの横、かけられた薄い毛布の中に潜り込む。
She's tunneling in like a graboid.
まだ肌寒くも感じる朝の静謐な空気の中、身を滑り込ませた毛布のぬくもりを心地よく感じると同時に、男の甘く濃厚な体臭を鼻に感じて頭が少しクラクラとし始める。ユージの匂いだ。
I heard you a dog.
嗅ぎ慣れたマキナの南国果実のような甘い体臭とはまた違う刺激的で危険な甘い匂い。代謝の激しい若い男の体臭なんていい匂いのわけはないし、自分でも少し異常だと分かっていてもつい鼻をこすりつけて匂いを嗅いでしまう。いいも悪いもなく、これが風見ユージという男の匂いだと思うとずっと嗅いでいたいとそう思ってしまう。
You lose yourself in the odor.
Also, I find it interesting, so this basically proves that everybody has these internal monologues in this game. It's not just Yuuji. We've just not been privy to it.
Yes. Yep.
Huh, maybe that's why everybody's in this school.
昔からよく聞く話では、好きになってしまえば相手のどんなとこも好ましく思えるようになるという。
What town is this game set in again? What's the place?
I don't remember.
Me neither. I was gonna make a joke about it. It's that town school for kids who monologue too much.
I can't even remember the name of the school right now. Is it Mihama? Is that right?
Might be. In my head. In my head, I was just like, Shiramitsugawa it is. Wait, wrong game.
Yeah, of course, we're going to be remembering that town name because we had to hear it so many times throughout 9-9.
Yep.
私はこの男を本当に好きになってしまったのだろうか。
I mean, you say you have.
まあそれはそれで構わない。私にはこの男が必要なのは変わらない。
In what sense?
じゃあユージ、お姉ちゃん
Well, alrighty
手
then.
立ちをしてあげるね。さらに身を潜らせた毛布の中で体臭がますます濃くなってくる。下着を持ち上げるようにして隆起した膨らみに手を伸ばすと自然にごくりと喉が鳴る。
Honestly, I'm just glad we're not having to read it.
I was about to say, I'm glad it's her
普通の
monologue.
女の子はしてくれないよ。私だからしてあげるんだよ。
Trademark.
下着に手をかけ静かに引き下ろそうとするが、あれが引っかかってうまくいかない。
Oh no, it got caught on my meat hooks.
もう引っかかってるって。少しお尻上げてくんないかな。ちょっと。腰の後ろに手を回しぐっと引き寄せるようにして持ち上げると、硬く尖った棒状のものが私の頬にうにゅっと触れる。
Sakar Ramrod! Sakar Ramrod!
これちょっと屈辱的。鼻に先っぽ当たってるってば、ブガー。
Nose boop.
すごい匂い。鼻直でもろかぎ、頭がおかしくなりそう。確かに本にはすごいエッチな匂いがするって書いてあったけど、そっか、これがそのエッチな匂いなんだ。これはやばいぞ。いつまでも嗅いでいられる。
Down, girl.
って匂いだけで満足してちゃダメよね。フェラだフェラ、フェラチオをしよう。しょっと。吐いてた。息苦しかったでちゅか。
Go, Mr. Powers! Fly free!
っていうか、あれなんかでかくない？いや、知ってるよ。男の人はさ、あれなんでしょ？朝とか大きくなるって本に書いてあったし、そりゃ知ってるけどもね。でもこれはちょっと本当にこんなのが私の中に入ったんだ。うわ、なんか改めてびっくりした感じ。よし、とりあえず握るか。
It's a fighter! It's a fighter!
Metaphorically, but also literally.
やっぱなんか前に握った時より大きくなっているような。
And it's turning green. That's not normal.
あれかな、若いから成長期なのかな。まあいいや。それより問題はこれ口に入るのかね。とりあえず加えてみりゃわかるか。それじゃあちょっと失礼していただきます。なんだ、意外とすっぽり入るじゃん。っていうか口の中いっぱいになっちゃったけど、なんかぴったりサイズ。まるで私のためにあるチッチンみたい。
The bleeps still get me.
でも
Yeah,
逆かな。
I think
こ
it's
のチ
more
ンチンのために私
they
の口
have
があ
a
るのか
very
な。
specific word, but then everything else doesn't.
I know. Makes for good comedy right there. Chef's kiss.
Speaking of that,
すごい。私の唾と混ざって
I was about to say, we don't need to sit here and listen to the noises.
I was about to say, I think you can probably fast forward. I feel like no story content's gonna hit.
Yeah, you probably are right. Okay, now I'm gonna pause for this one. Just your wizard country? I'm sorry?
What?
We can't stop here. This is wizard country.
What? What?
Like Hunter S. Thompson. I don't know what's happening. Okay.
はい、 綺麗になった
I
よ。
feel like that made me
お
more
疲れ様
confused.
でした。
This entire scene made me confused.
No, I get the idea. Until there.
テキストの設定をするわよ。
There we go. I think the scene's done.
Yeah. I probably is, based on this. Indeed. What do I owe you?
Tree fitty.
Cat bears on the
彼氏
table.
なんだから、もちろんただよ。ただでいつでもしてあげちゃう。嬉しいでしょ？
Zaku face on demand.
Yeah, I'm about to weep from joy.
私が彼女になってよかったでしょ？
Feels less like we're dating and more like I'm being molested. Sakaki did give me a vague warning, but I didn't expect such an aggressive sneak attack.
ん？榊さんが？なんで？
To be prepared?
I'm assuming you said something to her about this. She told me I was being targeted yesterday.
あ、そうなんだ。
I figured it wouldn't be anything big, but clearly I underestimated. Caught me totally off guard.
She thought the same thing. Speaking of being underestimated. It said that an American okay, here we go again. Alright. An American radar installation picked up the incoming attack on Pearl Harbor an hour in advance, but negligently concluded, please, that can't possibly be right, magnifying the eventual damage. Today I was equally lax, and I too paid a heavy price. That said, since I was awake from the instant Amane entered the room and let her do as she pleased, I don't think an outraged declaration of war would be justifiable. And ridiculous as these hormone-addled antics may be, as someone who may as well screw up at work one day and never come back, it's hard to get angry about such minor indignities. Or major indulgences.
And we're not even captured. Well, I mean, one of us, I guess.
Ish. Throwback to the conversation we had before we started. I knew early on that Amane had a fairly easygoing attitude towards sex. Her words made it clear enough, but that habit of calmly popping up in front of me completely nude really drove the point home, among other things. And that sizable body had curves in all the right places, an undeniable feast for the eyes of any heterosexual man. Despite her dinosaur-like proportions. Okay, she's not a rough or crude Tyrannosaurus woman, quite the opposite. She's highly precise, startlingly thoughtful, and an all-purpose housework machine with a particular talent in the kitchen. So she's a velociraptor? I don't know. Her personality is frank and outspoken, in a good way. She tells me honestly what she's thinking, making communication surprisingly painless. But that courageous front sometimes gives way to timidity. When the girl gets carried away, deliver a brief, firm scolding and she'll shrink in sorrow like an apologetic dog. You can practically see her tail drooping between her legs. When she looks up at me with her best puppy dog eyes and mumbles, I'm sorry, with that submissive expression on her face, it's impossible to maintain my anger, however well justified. In the end, I can't help but mutter, all right, as long as you've got the message, and nod in forgiveness. The girl's talent for emotional manipulation is downright fearsome.
ユージお昼だよ。お弁当にしよう。今日はね、この前ユージが美味しいって言ってたお豆腐のハンバーグだぞ。
You don't play fair, woman.
何よ、急に。
Were you not privy to the internal monologue just now?
I don't think you can ensnare me so easily in this trap of yours. I'm wise to you.
え、道楽？
Ah! There. Sorry, I don't get it.
I mean, it is a, isn't there a Pokemon move ensnare? Or am I just thinking of, like, Vine?
Hey, there might be. I know there's rap. But I also wouldn't be surprised if there was an ensnare. By means of her culinary persuasion, she's insidiously grabbed hold of my stomach. Not to mention that since our relationship went public, she's become even more aggressively clingy than before. On top of which, she's taken her slut role-playing to the next level, periodically whispering, "That At any time, available upon request, in my ear. To be frank, she's gotten a pretty good hold of my lower region as well.
That it just reminds me of From Dusk Till Dawn.
The monologue.
Yep. Monologue outside.
Oh, that is a hilarious monologue. If you have not seen the movie,
amazing.
highly recommend. If you're easily offended, well, you probably shouldn't be watching our videos, so...
No. If you don't know anything about From Dusk Till Dawn, don't look anything up. Like, seriously. You do not look anything up about the movie. What it's about, the cover, nothing. Just watch it.
I agree with that. That is a movie that going in with no warning, best way to approach it.
Absolutely, yes.
At this rate, I'm seriously going to end up unable to live without this woman. If she does end up becoming an essential part of my life, what should I do about it? Premature as it may be, if I'm considering what would be best for Amane, it's probably worth thinking about the possibility of an eventual marriage. As a general rule, planning your wedding while still a student is embarrassingly naive at best. As adolescent foolishness goes, it's right up there with confidently sending out your anguished poetry to literary journals. That said, a man owes his woman clearly defined intentions. Coasting along indecisively is the coward's way out.
I feel like it depends on what school you're in. Like, if you're in university, I feel like a lot of people get married out of university.
That's true. I guess it kind of depends on what your objectives in life are, but things happen.
Yeah.
I do feel guilty about the prospect of creating someone who will have to mourn my death, but if I'm serious about marrying Amane, the biggest problem isn't emotional. It's purely practical. Namely, there's my job. In my workplace, making a trivial mistake at the wrong time can mean dying in a ditch with all the dignity of some anonymous stray dog hit by a car. Most of all, it's an occupation that doesn't bear explaining to others. Say Amane takes me to meet her parents. Exactly what am I supposed to tell them? I mean, if I wanted to, I'm sure I could have some plausible, convenient workplace assigned to me as a camouflage, but that would be a betrayal of Amane and her family. In other words, I have to quit. Since my 2-year training period in America, I've already spent 2.5 years as a regular in Japan. At some point, I even rose up the ladder to acting squad leader, but there's still a good year and a half left in my designated field term. And even
that's still pretty lenient. Usually you get 5-year contracts.
Yeah.
In military stuff.
I guess with the nature of the job, there's a little bit more leeway. Or they just don't expect him to last that long. Hard to say.
Yep.
And even when that runs out, it won't exactly be, okay then, thanks for everything, good luck out there. The collar's not coming off that easy. At best, I'll be a permanent reserve, subject to emergency call-ups whenever the company deems my presence necessary. And 10 days a year, I'd be obligated to participate in a training camp for the purpose of maintaining fitness.
Training camp.
In short, these chains don't come off until I'm dead. My life's just full of problems.
風見さんではありませんか。こんな場所でどうかされましたか。何か
I
お
feel
困
like
り
you
の
should
こ
be
とで
used to
も。
me internally monologuing.
I feel like of all people, she probably is.
Oh, Sachi? No, nothing. Just stressing myself out about some vague anxiety about the future.
Sachi, do you have the power to release me from my bonds?
将来への不安ですか。
Nothing you need to be concerned about. It's only natural for young people to worry themselves over such things from time to time.
Someday you may too understand, Android Lady.
はい、わかるような気もします。
So, what are you doing here yourself, Sachi? Lessons over already?
はい、これから私は自治会のお手伝いがあって外出するところです。
Huh. Community service, is it? Very admirable.
あの、あまねさんは一緒ではないのですか？
I feel like it is admirable for her. It's not like,
It is.
you know, what did you do? I burned down a building. Now I have to do this community service.
No, she does it out of the goodness of her cybernetic heart.
Well, no, I mean, it would be a little pathetic if I was constantly carrying her around like a, toddler's ragged security blanket.
あ、いえ、他のある質問をしたつもりではないのですが、風見さん、この後は何かご予定は？
Why, are you trying to get us on your route?
No, none in particular.
でしたら、私と一緒に自治会のお手伝いに参加していただけないでしょうか。
Huh, I suppose I might be, but what would I need to do?
はい、今日は地元の少年サッカーのチームが試合をするので、そのサポートです。
Ah,
As in waving a flag around and cheering?
woo, yay.
いえ、要は監督と言いますか、子供たちが安全に試合ができるように配慮して、怪我人が出たりした場合は手当てをしたりします。
I see.
And why was that job left to Sachi in the first place? She informs me that the chairman of... Oh, hey, there's the town name.
Hooray!
She informs me that the chairman of Mishima Cape's neighborhood council is an acquaintance of hers, and passes on requests like these every once in a while, and she can't say no. In a way, it feels like they're taking advantage of Sachi's pathologically obedient personality, which does inspire a twinge of righteous anger on my part. But we can't neglect to give back to our community, and it seems the requests themselves aren't unreasonable, so I guess it doesn't quite rise to the level of unethical behavior on their part. Even so, if my assistance can slightly reduce Sachi's burden, I'll gladly lend a hand. When we arrive at the soccer field, which has been set up on a vacant lot not far from the ocean, the children have already begun to gather. There's even a few young primary schoolers still carrying their knapsacks, apparently having hurried here directly after school ended. As the group picks up on our arrival, there's a shout of, "Hey, it's Sachan!" and the children crowd around us in a relaxed, familiar way. From what Sachi told me, an individual named Sasaki-san, that's not confusing at all, had been coaching the town's soccer team, but his chronic lumbago intensified badly a little while ago. It seems he's been hospitalized for a good month now. During that time, she's apparently been acting as a stand-in supervisor when she has the chance. Sachi's first order of business is to blow on the whistles dangling around her neck, gathering the stragglers to us. Once the group is assembled, she begins to introduce me. Specifically, this is Kazami Yuuji-san, a heartless monster of a coach here to ruthlessly beat some instruction into you. Actually, that's a pretty good intro, I think.
You know what? I feel like it works.
As the friendly smile I'd been planning freezes halfway on my face, my expression stiffens slightly, which in turn only acts to confirm her words. The children quietly gulp in terror.
それでは、風見先生からありがたい訓示をいただきましょう。
And with that, Sachi turns to me and gives a short bow, then trots off toward the sideline benches, where she begins preparing the sports drinks and such. Okay, I didn't hear anything about coaching anyone, woman. I keep my complaints to myself. I can't just back down now, not with this group of children in their soccer uniforms standing at attention in front of me, waiting for my words with bated breath.
I want you all to try to learn a few things from this match. First and foremost, the importance of adequate preparation. Second of all, 2 words, slide tackle.
Oh, I thought you were going to say also proper hydration. Drink your H2O. That's some high quality H2O.
No, it would be the the full explanation of how football works.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Then you could get that brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Somehow or other, I'm a team leader at the company, which means I've had subordinates under my command. I'm relatively experienced at giving instructions. The only way we're going to improve is through your own preparations, your own effort. Don't plan on getting better by learning from others. In the middle of the game, we didn't learn this yet won't cut it. The only path that leads to competence is the one you forge yourself. A battle is all about the number of shots you've taken. In other words, the guy who's been practicing his shooting longer and more often is the one who's going to survive. You don't make split-second decisions consciously. It's all reflexes, and you get those through experience. Knowing what to do isn't enough. You need to drill it into your body. The guys who stop to think in the middle of the field die. You get the picture. I tried my best to offer them some vaguely plausible instructions, but I have some serious doubts about how much actually got across to them. I wonder why.
Wait, Coach, do you mean die metaphorically? No, coxgun.
And I suppose it's debatable how valuable the advice of a complete soccer amateur like myself could possibly be. Still, I do think the general principles are pretty much nearly universal.
I mean, he's what, elementary school? So, like, the tactics aren't gonna be top tier when they're, like, 8.
That is true.
The ball is your friend. Love your friend. Kick the stuffing out of your friend. I have no further instructions. Complete a thorough warm-up before the match begins.
I conclude my little speech with a muddle of incoherent encouragements, but for some reason, the children all shout, "Yes, sir!" enthusiastically. Within seconds, they begin performing energetic calisthenic routines.
さすがですね、風見さん。
Look, Sachi, I don't remember anything about coaching. You kind of sprung that out of nowhere, you know?
すみません。ですが、風見さんならお任せできると確信しておりました。
Right, but some warning would have been nice.
Fine, but was Heartless Monster... Was that bit really necessary? The kids were quivering in their cleats.
それもすみません。やはり現場には怖い人がいないと、どうしても子供たちの集中力が欠けてしまって、
She
怪
is
我をする
correct.
子が増えてしまうんですよ。
I could see that. I haven't seen a lot of kids' sports, but from what I have seen, if there's not somebody that's at least somewhat intimidating there, things go off the rails.
I see. So that's why you asked me to come along.
Lack of tension gives rise to a lack of caution. When you're not concentrating, you're more likely to get injured. And when there's no clear top dog around, it's easier for pointless fights to break out among the pack. So it would seem that there's a need for me to assume the role of a scary person in order to keep the children attentive and appropriately cautious. Also, there's a weird random dog here.
Top dog.
In that case, there's a woman I remember all too well who should serve as a useful point of reference. I'm referring, of course, to my master, Kusakabe Asako.
Arf.
Has he ever said her name before, or...?
No.
Okay.
No, he has not. At least not that I remember, but I'm 99% sure he has never said it.
I believe you, but I also could not remember. A truly scary person isn't someone who breaks out in fits of rage or attempts to intimidate others with spasms of meaningless violence. When she was teaching me the job, Asako would most often stand by my side and watch my performance in perfect silence. Every once in a while, she'd poke my head with a stick. Ow. If I missed to the right or left, she'd jab me in the appropriate check. If my shot sailed high, she'd bring her stick down on the crown of my head with relish. Instead of speech, she communicated through the whip. Her little jabs were always sharp enough to make my eyes water. Honestly, it pissed me off at the time, but if I stayed focused on my task and hit my target, the stick never came my way. She had no carrot, though. You gotta balance out the carrot with the stick. The most dangerous stage of learning your job isn't the beginning. It's when you start to move past the rookie mistakes and gain something resembling competence. There's a tendency to get overconfident and blunder carelessly in a big way. But even once Asako was no longer at my side, when I imagined her lurking watchfully nearby, my focus was always perfect. More often than not, human error is caused by simple carelessness. If giving the children a fierce glare from the sidelines can help eliminate that factor from this event, reducing the possibility of accidents or injuries, there's some value of my being here. The match raged on into the early evening. In the end, spurred on by my glowering attentions, Mishima Cape's team proved triumphant. On the unfortunate side of things, one boy from the opposing team, visitors from a nearby town, tripped and fell, skinning his elbow and knee. But fortunately, both were minor scrapes, and he was able to return to the game immediately after being treated. After the match ended, we took part in a group barbecue that's apparently a post-game tradition. By the time that was over as well, the sun had already sunk halfway below the horizon. Okay, that was something.
すみません、風見さん。遅くまでお付き合いいただいて。
It's fine. Not like I had anything else to do, like, the route I'm on. Glad to be a help.
Yeah, it's not like that's of any consequence. Having finished cleanup of the barbecue and stowed the equipment in a storehouse next to the field, we returned the key to the town council, then gave a quick report. It's already past 7. The children headed home before 6, which would mean that we spent over an hour on the wrap-up. I don't even want to think about how long it would have taken Sachi by herself.
でも、少し意外でした。風見さんはサッカーの経験があるのですか？
Was that the game we were
Experienced
playing?
What player? I like how we go for the exact same type of joke.
I mean...
Not really. I do know the rules, kick, ball, and goal. But my only experience with the game would be what I picked up from PE in elementary school.
そうなんですか？その割には何やら随分と達見した訓示をされていたようなので、私はてっきりサッカー経験の豊富なサック野郎
Did
な
you
のだとばっ
watch
か
the
り。
beginning of this episode?
She's always watching. Always watching.
Hold on, what exactly is the Zuck community supposed to be?
サッカーをする子供はサッカー少年ですよね。
In some parts of the world.
Yeah, as long as you ask an American.
では、サッカーをする若者はサック野郎なのでは？
Not exactly.
You're extremely wrong. Frighteningly so.
Soccer and sucker are two very different words. But how can I explain the distinction without making things awkward? Watch the first part of the episode.
たとえ風見さんがサック
I have
野
a
郎でな
picture
かっ
of
たとしても、
this
成
soccer
長に
ball. I
値
have
する
this
大
picture of
変有
Amane.
意義な言葉だったと思います。
I mean, she did take a picture of herself before she mentioned the weird wizard country thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
You think?
はい。例えば、転んで怪我をしてしまった相手チームの子がいたじゃないですか。自分の血を見て泣き出してしまったあの子に、風見さんはおっしゃいましたよね。男が涙を見せていいのは、財布を落とした時と、母親が死んだ時だけだ。
That's very specific.
そして、
Mm-hmm.
人知れず泣く時にも厳しい制限がある。涙は他人のために流せ。自分のために流していいのは汗だけだ。覚えておけ。
But what if you have allergies and your eyes just tear up uncontrollably?
実に力強いお言葉です。この小峰幸、心が震えて、またぐらが締める思いです。思わず
Are
携
we
帯を
on
取
your
り出し
route
て、
now?
おしめになうとネット上でつぶやいてしまうところでした。
Sachi?
How are we on your route? I see. To be honest, I have no idea what to say to you at this point.
Valid.
But yeah, 100%. A message.
Oh, it seems Amane saw your post. I take my private use cell phone from my breast pocket and check the screen. The email's from a certain Suo Amane, and the contents.
今どこにいんの？ご飯用意できてるから早く帰っておいで。
Hang on, I've apparently got to clean up after Sachi. The digital clock in the corner of the screen tells me it's comfortably past 7. Not surprising she'd wonder where I'd gotten to.
Crap, I forgot to get in touch with Amane.
あまねさんと何か約束があったのですか？
More like an outstanding obligation.
Oh, no, nothing like that. Probably just send the message because I didn't show up at dinner time. Wants me back on the double.
It's true that I forgot to tell Amane I'd be late, but it's not like she slipped my mind entirely. In fact, since I was planning to have dinner with Amane, I spent the whole barbecue with the soccer teams grilling meat instead of eating anything.
あまねさん、怒っていらっしゃいますか？
No, not a problem. I don't think she seems upset.
I hand over my cell phone to Sachi to give her a look at Amane's message.
なるほどです。でも、もしあまねさんに怒られそうなら、全部私のせいにしてください。
I always do.
サチがあまりに可愛かったので、つい手を貸してしまった。悪いのは可愛すぎるサチなのだと。
You know what? I will take this over her trying to figure out a way to injure herself.
Agreed, 100%. Sachi, are you familiar with the phrase pouring gasoline on a fire?
リニアブラ？磁力で胸が大きくなる新型の下着でしょうか？
Sure.
You know, that's a bit of a stretch, and yet I'm not entirely confident you're trying to make a joke.
あ、風見さん、このメール、何やら画像が添付されているようですが。
Oh no, it's the picture from earlier. Sachi reaches her hand to the cell phone screen and scrolls down.
うわ。
Yep, definitely the image from earlier. And with a strange little grunt of surprise, her face instantly flushes red.
What's up? Something wrong?
Well, you could say something's up. Slightly concerned by Sachi's reaction, I pull my cell phone out of her hands and look at the screen. A truly outrageous image stares back at me. Really? I thought we were past this.
What is she thinking? Amane, what am I gonna do with you?
Mind explaining yourself, my good Amane-san? No. I think I understand. You figured sending this over would get me wobbling straight home with an uncomfortable bulge in my pants, yes?
Hey, Sachi.
はい。何でしょう、風見さん。
Just a moment ago, I said I have no idea what to say to you at this point. Allow me to correct myself in retrospect. I was wrong. I've only now come to understand what it truly means to be lost for words. I am sure that anything I would now say would sound like an excuse to you.
This is him being at a loss for words?
自分の間違いを速やかに正す勇気。敬服いたします。
It is now that I truly understand what it is to be speechless. Allow me to articulate this further.
When somebody tells me to shut up, I'm shutting up. I don't keep talking.
それでは私も自分の間違いに気がつきましたので、ここで訂正させていただきます。
Why was the jump necessary? There was no need for it.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, I guess to be fair, this is only a problem if you're trying to do what we are doing. Otherwise, it's just like, it's flavoring. Which feels like the wrong choice of words, but whatever. Here we
I
are.
was gonna mention. Alright, yeah.
つまり、その写真のそれがサッカーなのですね。
There it is. There's the joke. Huh, I feel like we set that up ourselves.
Damn it, she's not wrong.
ボールは友達というのもそういった意味なのでしょうか。とんだサック野郎ですね。
At least she didn't kick the stuffing out of them.
I know. Please say no more.
A man doesn't show his tears to others. But that doesn't mean the urge to sweat from your eyes won't well up inside you every once in a while.
I'm cutting onions.
Oh. I do manage to salvage at least a scrap of masculine pride from this situation by resisting the desire to run back to the dorm, bursting into Amane's room and denouncing her misdeed. Instead, I walk calmly back and pretend the email never happened, an act of restraint that allows me to maintain some meager kernel of self-respect. We're just... okay. Thanks for that.
というようなことが昨日ありまして、びっくりして思わず、わって言っちゃいました。
We forgot to give her the command to not talk about this.
Crap.
ああ、ごめんね。ちょっとしたシャレのつもりだったんだけど、あのメール見ちゃったんだ。
Really?
返信はなかったし、ユージも何も言わなかったから見てないのかと思ってたよ。
ねえねえ、それってどんな写真だったの？私にも見してよ。
Amane pulls out her phone. Well, you see.
あんたには10年早いわよ。
私と同い年のサッチンには見せたくせに
Wait,
納得いかないのよ。
Apparently.
さっちゃんには見せたんじゃなくて見られちゃったの。とにかくダメ。
なんだよそれ。ちょっとお兄ちゃんの彼女の座を射止めたグレーで随分と上からだな。
wait, what do you mean
私だって女な
temporarily?
のよ。
Yeah,
穴っ
that's
ぽこの数は一緒
interesting.
なのよさ。
What is this? Is there going to be a ladder match at some point in this route to determine who actually gets the belt in the long run?
No. It's gonna be a Yuuji on a. It's gonna be a ladder match, but Yuji's just gonna be like dangling from like a string. Well, you gotta grab him and pull him down.
Here comes Makino with a steel chair.
見してくんねえなら自分で試すぞ。いいのか？
自分で試すってどうする気よ。
There was a legitimate match where to win there was a person on top of a forklift and you had to lower the forklift and retrieve the person. So
Interesting. I feel like that actually would take longer because forklifts typically don't lower that quickly.
especially if you have a person on it, you're gonna do it slow anyway. So yeah.
Well, you would hope.
Yeah. Shockingly enough, not a terrible match. Like people joke about it, not that bad.
仕上げて待ってりゃ、そのうちお
あ
兄ちゃんが小銭握りしめてやってくるのよさ。
How much of the match did it take for them to figure out which lever actually lowered the forklift?
Actually, almost none.
Oh, okay.
So
They must
they
have
really did like, yeah, practice that.
pulled the switch.
Yeah. Or maybe it's possible that the way they engineered it, it wasn't them at all. Maybe, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense. It probably was some sort of smoke and mirrors kind of deal.
あの年頃の男だぞ。自販機の横で
What?
口開けてしゃがんでる女を見れば、おお、こんなところに口コキ自販機があるじゃねえかと景色版だかと思えば。
Number one, I don't feel like Yuuji would do that. I feel like he would probably just take the snack and walk away. Or he might shove the snack in the hole.
Snack go down the hole.
Good reference.
私に100円玉を握らせた後、おもむろにズボンを下ろして加えさせるに決まってるのよ。
Who's wrong?
いや、ないからそういうこと。
おお、ずいぶんと余裕だね、あんまね。しかし、本当にないかな？ないと言い切れるのかな？
Of course not. She's a dog woman, not a cat woman.
ないわよ。
Why'd you stutter there?
そうか。では試してみようじゃないのよさ。さっち、
Harem route. Harem
I mean, it kind of already sort of feels like that.
route. It really does. I feel like it. I don't. Honestly, I don't know why this game wouldn't have one.
I have the sneaking suspicion that we're still in the lighthearted part of her route, and once the more emotional and concerning
Yeah.
circumstances come up, there's not going to be too much more of this. But I didn't realize going into this that this was almost going to be like a mirror of the structure of the common route, where
Yes.
early on it's going to be all slice of life comedy, kind of, or for the most part, and then probably in the latter half, that's when things get serious.
It really is because, I mean, I guess we did have the first, I mean, I wouldn't say half, but part. But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised with how, even though, yeah, it's the center of focus, but just how much of the route is not Amane.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to be typical for all of them, or if that's just the case for Amane's, especially since the time that he's not with her, it's really hammering her insecurities.
Yeah, so maybe it'll play, but I just kind of think probably all of the other routes are going to do something similar. Maybe not the exact same, but something similar.
Yeah, I'm sure.
サインペン。これで何をするのマキちゃん。
私のほっぺたに書いてほしいのよさ。右の方には一発100円、左の方にはごっくん OK と。
いいけど、これ油性だよ。
I mean, it still comes off.
I mean, yeah, it's not like it's super glue.
I cannot use... It doesn't matter what the super glue comes in, what kind of container. Every time I try to use it,
Whoa.
I inevitably get some on one of my fingers, and I'm just like, well, this is a part of me until I shed like a snake.
Yeah.
こらこらこらこら、やめなさいって。どんなプレイよそれ。
プレイじゃないのよ。少女の好奇心に対する抑圧が生み出す暴走なのよさ。
Already happened.
バカな真似はやめなさい。
おっと、うるさいわよあんたたち。今が何の時間か分かってるの？
I forgot to read that part.
I almost
So,
always
no.
do. Yeah.
お昼の時間ですね。
そうな、ご飯の時間なのよ。
それが何？
It is the hour of lunch.
なんでどいつもこいつも不思議そうな顔して私を見んのよ。食事の時間にチンコだマッコだずぶ濡れだフルボッキだってやかましいっつってんのよ。
誰もそこまでは言っていないような気がしますが。
I mean, it was implied.
It
to
was.
be, fair.
何を興奮してんのよさ。
会話に混ぜてほしいなら素直にそう言えばいいのに。
No, she can't. She's a tsundere.
もう誰もそんなこと言ってないでしょ。っていうかお昼食べてる時にそういう下の話をする？そういうのは合コンの二次会とかでやってくれるかな。
Incidentally, Yuuji's been here the whole time, just not listening to any of this.
すみません。よりによってお昼のおかずが極太フランクフルトソーセージの時にフェラチオだの口内射精だのと大変お聞き苦しいお話を。
これはまた立派なソーセージなのよさ。ねえアマネ、これってお兄ちゃんのとどっちが太い？
どれどれ？口に入れてみないとわかんないかも。
Not helping your cause.
No, my man witch!
やめなさいよもうビッチか。
ビッチですが何か？
Well, alright.
言い切られた。もうなんなのよこのエロエロ空間。つかなんで誰も止めないのよ。ユージはユミコはストッパーの連中はどこ行ったのよ。
Apparently they're off on their own route.
はい。榊さんは都内の私大へ経済学の聴講に。風見さんは学園長さんと一緒にテレビの取材に行かれました。
Huh.
はあ？テレビ？何の番組よ。
確か地方民放局のローカル番組で日本の教育を語るとかなんとか。風見さんは学園長さんの付き添いという形だそうです。
Wait, he's being an escort? Why wasn't I informed?
何を付き添いってなんでユージなわけ？
うちの学園長さんは若くして不相応な地位を手に入れられたことでやかみも多いですし、護衛のようなものかと。
楽屋でセックスしてるとこスクープされなきゃいいけどな。
Well,
しない
Look,
から。
I've also
ユー
asked
ジは
why
私で
it's
十
not a route.
分満足してるから。
ほーい、そいつはどうかな。男ってのは結構わがままなのよ。アマネーのパッツンパッツンの若い肉体も欲しつつ、チズチズのいい感じにやれ
Broken
た
in.
女の体を求めても不思議じゃないし。
also, isn't she in her, like, late 20s?
Age?
I think so. I'm not sure. Then again, for these kind of games, that seems to be a marker as old.
Oh, yeah. Because everybody's 18.
Yep.
時には青い果実のごとき私のような肉体を欲することも。
そして時には従順なメイドをいじめてヒーヒー言わせてみたいと思っている可能性がなきにしもあらず。
Not harem route. Not harem route at all.
ぐぐさっちゃん、あなたまで。
Yay! I appreciate that reference.
Mm-hmm.
だからなんですぐそっちの方に話が進むの。飯食ってる時にチンコの話すんな。もう知らない。私も
Relatedly,
そいて食べる。
I'm
ついて
scared
こないでよね。
how this is related, but go on.
no, it's related to the previous line of dialogue.
Oh, okay.
It kind of annoys me that basically everybody gets that line wrong in pronunciation because they do it like French and not Latin.
I mean, it also makes sense that people wouldn't necessarily say it correctly because French is far more widely studied than Latin these days, so...
Valid.
And if popular culture picks up a certain pronunciation, the same thing is going to happen. It's like how every single movie that portrays ancient Rome, everybody has an English accent.
I love that. It's so stupid. Every Roman is British. It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like there probably are linguists and dialect professionals that have seen the phonetic pronunciation of these words and could actually determine how the language sounded.
Oh, 100%. And it wouldn't be British because, like, English is not even at all related to Latin as a language. Like, at all.
Bits and pieces, but definitely not.
Well, loan words, but, like, it's not even the same language family.
Yeah, that's true.
みちる様、どちらへ？うるし
Jap.
うるしゃーって
うるしゃーってのはうるしい干渉と何か関係が？
ないでしょっていうか、うるしい干渉って何？
第二次世界大戦における連合国軍の重要拠点です。というか、
Somebody had to
みち
do
る
it
様
because
のことを放っておいていいのでしょうか。
If anybody else was going to do it, it was going to be Sachi.
まあ、悪いことしたとは思うけど、いいんじゃない？ついてくんなって言ってるし。
いいのか？あいつ絶対隠れてフェラの練習するよ。お弁当のフランクフルト使って。
はあ、つまり勘違いしないでよねとか言いつつもベロベロと舐め回す練習をするわけだよね。
キモいのよ
feel
さ。
like you're
後でこっそり見に行って間抜け
you're
なフェ
just
ラ顔を
like
写真に
seeing
撮
an
ってやろう
alternate
よ。
timeline where that's the route.
You know?
あんたらあれか？鬼の子か？
Which one?
結局写真は見してくんないの？
だってさすがにね。
Look, if you don't show it to her, she's just gonna steal your phone and look at it anyway. Just rip the band-aid off.
ですが何でもかんでも良くないものとして奪い上げるのは教育者の怠慢だとも言いますよ。教育者の管理のもと、これは良くないものだと正しく自己認識させるのが教育だと風見さんもおっしゃっていました。
I swear if I have to increase the opacity of the text box again.
You're gonna have to do. You might have to do it again.
そもそも下のものには禁止しておきながら自分たちだけこっそり楽しむなんてのは悪徳宗教の教祖のやり口なのよさ。マキナの教育によくねえよ、そういうのは。
But what's on the menu when Ed Jew caters?
いや、その、
Funny.
なんていうか、ちょっと恥ずかしいのよね。
おお、リッチとは思えぬ気弱な発言なのよさ。まあいいじゃん。高額のためにちょっと見るだけなのよ。
Ah, so that's how you do it.
さっちゃんには見られちゃったしな。
Yep.
仕方がないか。ちょっとだけよ。
You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead. I don't know that it will actually show
Do
it
it.
again, but I'm just gonna go ahead.
It might not, but it might.
テキストの設定をするわよ。
Let's just play it safe.
ちょっとだけちょっとだけ先っぽだけな。
先っぽはあまねさんの口の中だから見えないよ、マキちゃん。
She looked at it for 2 seconds and has it memorized down to every detail.
100%. That is in character.
Mm-hmm.
どれどれ。うわ、なんじゃこりゃ。がっぷり加えてるのよさ。
The text box did nothing. The text box did nothing.
The text box, you did nothing. Ah.
テキストの設定をするわよ。
Every single time. It's a moving target and I never know where it's going to be next.
えぐ、汁まみれえぐ。つかぐろ。よくこんなの加えたのよさ。信じらんねえのよさ。
I'm outraged on your behalf.
いや、なんていうか、好きな人のだったら平気っていうか、むしろ
むしろ美味しすぎてよだれが止まらなかったと。
私結構好きかも、ペラチオ。
マジでか。え、どんな味？美味しいの？
ユージの味。
わかんねえ。何それ？松茸的な風味？
いや、全然違う。っていうか、もういいでしょ。携帯返して。
うわー、なんだろう。そっか。あまね、もう処女じゃねえのな。ちょっと遠くに行かれたような気がするのよさ。
そんなこと別にね。マキナだっていつかは経験することだし、そんな焦らなくても。
おう？今上から物言ったな。恋愛上級者気取りか？恋愛情報発信記事か？それでタイガーガールのつもりか？おう？
There is no pleasing you.
そんな言い方しなくったって。そりゃさ、学園で唯一の男子を食っちゃったんだし、ちょっと悪いことしたかなって思ってるけどさ。
大丈夫ですよ。なんだかんだ言っても結局は誰もあまねさんを恨んだりなんかしていません。こうして私やまきちゃんがあまねさんをいじるのも、結局風見さんはあまねさんを選ぶであろうということを認めているからですよ。
じゃあ聞くけど、もしユージがさっちゃんのこと抱きたいって言ってきたらどうすんの？
Does he phrase it as a command?
それは
ほら、うぐって言った。何うぐって。もし私が OK 出したらユージに少女をあげちゃうんじゃないの？
その
It just keeps coming back.
風見さんがどうしてもとおっしゃるのなら差し上げます。
マキナ？
なんなのよさ。
あんたはどうする？もしユージが処女くれって言ってきたら。
そりゃねえ。あまねの男を寝取るのも悪いし、多分あまねには内緒にするのよってちゃんと言うと思うのよ。
Boy, with friends like these.
なんて油断のならない子たちなの、あんたたち。
いや
照れちゃいますね。
言っておくけど褒めてないからね。
平気なのよ。お兄ちゃんはああ見えて臆病者だから。あまねがいるのに他の女に手を出すほど度胸はないし、自分がされて嫌なことは人にはしない男なのよさ。
ですね。というか、いくら私たちが迫ったところで面倒くさいと言って全てスルーされてしまうような気がします。
That's probably true.
そうかな。でもユージだって男だし。
あまねは お兄ちゃんの彼女のくせしてお兄ちゃんのことあんま分かってねえのな。
It's the insecurity.
戦場はセックスより安全だとか言っちゃうような男が浮気なんかするわけねえのよ。
案外彼女になって距離が詰まると見えなくなる部分なのかもしれませんね。
なんか急に不安になってきた。女として穴の数は同じ。確かにその通りよね。じゃあ私とこの子たちの違いは何だろう。この子たちになくて私が持っているもの、父かな。
Tracts of land.
Well, you are on the right track.
そうか、それだ。その手があったわ。
They're there every time I look down.
なんかまたくだらねえこと思いつきやがったな。
Probably.
まあいいよ、突っ込まないでおくからまた写真撮ったら見してね。
どうしよう。私ってもしかして天才？
Alright, jumping to a conclusion, I feel like.
聞いてないみたいだよ、マキちゃん。
なんだろうな、もう。
Well, that figures. Alright, I think that's where we're going to call this episode. This was a pretty narrowly focused episode. I understand it to a degree, because I feel like a lot of this is setting up for Amane's insecurities and how she oscillates back and forth between very self-assured, but then something shakes her confidence and she gets really caught up in her head. I'm not sure how much more of that mental tug-of-war is going to keep going, but Yuuji's off doing his own thing in the meantime. I don't really think I have anything else. How about you?
Nope.
All right.
It's definitely an episode.
It was. Well, thank you all so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we hope to see you in the next one. For now, we are the Bridge Boys, signing off.